Does tennis have a pickleball problem? Welcome, as always, to mytenniscoaching.com. We are live on YouTube. And yes, if you're watching YouTube, do me a huge favor. Before we get into the video, hit the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. What do we use in pickleball? Is it a bat? Is it a paddle? Is it a racket? Let me know, because I'm going to absolutely butcher that in the next few minutes. So pickleball is absolutely everywhere here in the UK. I first became aware of pickleball about 4 years ago at a tennis club I've been working at. And yeah, it looks like a fun sport. I've never played it myself, but there's a huge concern within the tennis community, especially coach community, that pickleball is taking over. Not only pickleball, but paddle as well. And a lot of tennis clubs are now either converting courts into paddle courts, so taking away tennis facilities, or they're sticking down very ugly lines on a tennis court for pickleball. And tennis coaches are really unhappy. And they're saying that's the death of the sport, and it's an absolute tragedy that other sports are encroaching on their own facilities and their own places to play. And yeah, almost racket civil war is happening on our doorstep. I don't see it as a threat, pickleball. I see it as mini tennis for adults. I think it's, listen, any type of activity you can get adults or kids playing is great. If it's in and around a tennis club, then even better. Obviously, I share the concern of losing court space to these sports, but it also then shows you that the lack of demand for tennis. There's not a huge demand. And I understand you can get a lot more pickleball players on a tennis court than you can tennis players. I understand that from a commercial point of view. That's why a lot of commercial centers are now pushing pickleball, because you can make good money from it. I understand that bit. But I don't think the sport itself is the threat. The biggest threat to tennis when it's comparing or competing against pickleball and paddle is tennis itself. And this came to light a few weeks back, and I was at a club and I was watching a pickleball session, and a new member turns up. Hi, I'm Steve. I just joined the club. Haven't joined the pickleball membership yet. I want to come across today, have a little go, see what it's like, and if I enjoy it, I'll add pickleball onto my tennis membership. So the session itself is not run by a coach; it's run by a club member. Club members are like, great, come on in. There's your your racket, your paddle, your bat. I'll put you in a little group of 3. Just jump on. They'll explain the rules and just have a go. Have a go. The session's 2 hours. By the end of the session, we'll have a good idea of the rules, and you'll have a good idea how to play. Away you go. That was it. Steve, me, what wasn't me, jumps in, plays for 2 hours, lots of games, lots of matches, lots of fun, lots of giggles. Other members helping the member out, telling them where to stand, telling them what the kitchen line is. I don't know what the kitchen line is. Just I know there's a kitchen line. Explaining the rules, and they're just learning how to play pickleball by playing pickleball. After the 2 hours, new member absolutely loves it. I'm on court next to them, shouting over the noise of the pickles. And yeah, member loves it. Going to add pickleball to their membership. Going to come back next week. Done. What an easy, quick introduction to a new sport that member now, I've been there quite a few weeks since, has done. And yeah, pickleball has gained a new player within literally an introduction session that cost them nothing. When you compare that to a new member coming to a tennis club, and I'm going to stereotype a little bit, but I'm going to draw on lots of previous experience for myself, but also from other coaches that I've worked with and other coaches that I've witnessed. If a new member, Steve, comes to a tennis coaching session, introduction session, first thing I do, or coach does, is you sell them a coaching program. Okay, so adult beginner, yeah, these are adult beginner sessions. Monday, 7 o'clock, Wednesday, 7 o'clock, Friday, 7 o'clock, Sunday, 10 o'clock. Sessions an hour and a half. We do some drills, we do some games, then we play a little bit of match play at the end. It's X amount of money. We have social sessions Wednesday, Friday, 12 o'clock till 2, match play, coach led. That's X amount of money. Then we have teams as well, and we have box leagues and stuff like that. Great. That they all cost additional money as well. But that's tennis program for you. But you're a beginner, so I really would encourage you to have some tennis lessons first, because you need to learn the rules of the game. You need to learn the basic movements, the basic fundamentals, the basic shapes, how to hit a forehand, how to hit a serve, all that stuff we can teach you in the coaching program. So before you do the social tennis and before you play in the teams, yeah, you really need coaching first. And that's going to cost you more money. And private lessons are X amount of money as well. But you need coaching before you can access definitely the social tennis, because you don't want to go to social tennis and not be able to play, and then people don't want to play with you, and it gets a bit clicky, and then yeah, it makes you feel awkward and embarrassed, and you definitely can't play the team, so you don't want to go and get beat, do you? So you can see the picture straight away. And from a coach's point of view, hand on heart, I've done stuff like that before, because self-employed coach, like, I'm not going to make money if they go to the social sessions. I'm not going to make money if they go to the teams. I'm going to make my money if they come to the coaching program and then they have private lessons. In an ideal world, they'll do a little bit of everything. But the truth of the matter is, I want them to understand that they need me as a coach. Now, I don't do that anymore, but I know coaches do. I've seen it this week, where a coach has said to a player, "Oh, you can't play in a team because you're not ready. You're not ready for the teams. You need private lessons to do that. But if you have private lessons, I'll get you ready for the teams." Why do they need private lessons? Why do they need lessons at all? Contrast that or compare that to pickleball. Just turn up, just play pickleball. And people say, yeah, but pickleball's easy. Pickleball, it's a smaller court, 4 players, it's a bit slower. There's less variation, there's less variables to deal with. I understand that. So it, from a perception or from a skill point of view, it is a little bit easier because you've got less space to cover. The game's a bit slower. There's 4 of you on a court. I understand that. But tennis doesn't have to. Again, if you watch my video the other week about teaching adult beginners, like, tennis is just missold. Tennis, like, it's not a game of long rallies, it's a game of short rallies. It's a game of quite explosive points. Like, we don't sell tennis very well of the reality of it. We sell it of high consistency. You don't make mistakes. You don't miss in tennis. But then when people miss, they think they're not very good at tennis. Oh, but tennis is very hard. I always make mistakes. Oh my God, the best players in the world make mistakes. Djokovic, Nadal, Federer, they make mistakes all the time, every single day when they play. So I think how we market tennis, again, I've mentioned this quite a few times on this channel now, but how we market tennis is wrong. Tennis is not hard. It's just misunderstood. It's a game of mistakes. It's a game of errors. If someone's not making an error, someone's not doing their job properly. Like, I want you to miss if I'm playing against you. You want me to miss. So if none of us are missing, we're not trying. We're not trying to win. We're not playing tennis. We're playing at tennis. But you compare those two things with the new member experience. Well, I can go to pickleball and just play pickleball, where I don't have to pay out all this extra money to get me up to a level where I can play. Or I can play tennis, but I can't access the social elements. I can't get into the teams without going and paying and investing quite a lot of money in the coach. And then there's still no guarantee that I'm actually going to get to the standard, because the standard of the coaching might not be very good. So then people have the lessons, they don't improve, and then they think, oh, I'm going to give up. Tennis is too hard. I just can't get it. It wasn't the fact that tennis was too hard. You just had a very poor coach, and they haven't got you able to play a match. But again, people have the perception of what good coaching looks like. I'm going to do a future video on this, because especially now with social media, you go on social media, I've done it this morning, you scroll through and perfect forehand, how to hit Nadal's backhand, how to perfectly get a perfect ball toss. Tennis coach Monotoglu giving all these quick fixes, and that's what people and parents think coaching is now. And that's getting pushed on tennis coaches. You need to jump in, do quick fixes. You need more coach interventions. You've got to stop them making those mistakes. I've seen this on Instagram. I see Monotoglu do this. It's just absolute fake stuff. Getting wound up, can you tell? And that's why people have this misconception of tennis. One, it's not the reality of the game. Two, they get, I was going to say forced, they get talked into having tennis lessons when they probably don't need it. If they're just going to play once a week, they don't need tennis lessons. Just go and play tennis once a week. But you'll probably learn more from a open, dynamic, social session than you will isolated, I'm going to feed you 100 forehands lesson. You're going to get more value from playing tennis than you are having one private lesson a week. And I have this conversation with adults now all the time. Like, why do you want private lessons? Oh, because I really want to get better. Well, how much tennis are you going to play outside the private lesson? None. There's no point having the private lesson then. There's no point. Like, if you just go and play with the kids once a week, you'll get more from that than you will with me. Like, only really have a tennis lesson if you're looking to fast track your tennis. Like, but you have to practice outside of tennis. The lesson, sorry, you have to practice. There's no point. Don't have tennis lessons with me, private lessons, if you're not going to play tennis outside it, because there's no point. You're just wasting money and wasting my time and your time. And people listen to this and go, oh my God, that's weird. It's not weird, because I don't want to be having lessons with someone. I'm doing the same thing week in, week out. It's not practicing. It's a waste of time. It's easy for the coach. And I understand why coaches do that, but that's fine. That's on you as a coach. So you can see why tennis is in trouble. And it's interesting because pickleball and paddle at the moment of recording, they're not inundated with coaching. There's some coaches coming through now into paddle. There's a little bit of coaching in pickleball, but not a lot. But national governing bodies and national coach qualification companies are now starting to bring pickleball qualifications and paddle qualifications. In 6-10 years, those sports are going to be flooded with coaches, because you know for the fact coaches are now looking at those numbers and they're doing the maths. I can get 16 adults paying £10 a session for a pickleball session for an hour. That's pretty good money. They're doing the maths and they want a piece of that pie. Again, they want to make the money. Fair enough, business. That's where those sports are going to slow. Where paddle and pickleball are going to slow their growth, because you're going to have the same situation that we have in tennis. You can't play a pickleball match. You need to learn how to play pickleball first. Need lessons first. Oh, we don't have social sessions anymore. We just have pickleball coaching sessions, where it's structured and led. And that's where tennis finds itself now. I guarantee if you go to any tennis club, the first thing they show you is the coaching program. They don't show you the social program. They don't tell you about the teams. They don't tell you that you can just turn up on a Saturday and just play. What I mean? And that's why tennis is in trouble. And I think Simon Wheatley said it on a great podcast last week. Tennis is now just a business. It's a business for coaches and clubs and commercial centres. It's a product. It's not a sport no more, because all we do is coach. We just have lessons. We don't actually play tennis. We're playing at tennis, not playing tennis. And that's the biggest threat to tennis. It's not pickleball or paddle. The biggest threat to tennis is the fact that tennis is now changing from a sport. And you only have to look at the competition numbers in junior tennis compared to the participation numbers. I haven't got them in front of me. It's scary how little kids are competing or not competing. Adults aren't competing. Clubs are now struggling to get teams out. But when you look at their coaching program, it's full of players. But you can't put a team out. You can't put 4 players together. We've got a coaching program at 80 adults. We can't get 4 out to play a match. And that's why clubs are looking at coaching programs now. And rightly so. They're going, this is not sustainable. Like, we can't put teams out. We don't have any social sessions no more. Members aren't coming down and just using the club no more. They're just paying for coaching. And the coaches are making loads of money. But our club isn't thriving. And coaches get annoyed and, oh, the club's putting conditions on me and stuff. But look at what's happening. Look at your coaching program now. And I'd be really keen to hear this in the comments. Like, if you to look at your social program and your club's coaching program, I guarantee the coaching program outweighs it 90% to 10%. But then look at the amount of, what I mean, if you have the ability to look on a booking system, Look at how many members per week book a court compared to how many coaching lessons. I guarantee to be more coaching sessions than unstructured lessons. That's why tennis finds itself in a really challenging position in 2024, because it's just become a business. I'm not saying that we shouldn't make money. Like, I make money from tennis. I make money from this channel. I make money from online coaching. So I make my business from tennis. But it's not just about the business. At the end of the day, I do it for the love of the sport, because I love sport. I love competition. And we can still have a thriving business, but also a thriving sport. And at the moment, I just think, my opinion, that tennis is dying as a sport. You just look at even the top level, and the prize money so minimal now. No one's even watching. I'll go to Wimbledon in a few weeks, and centre court and court one to be empty because everyone's in the commercial side. They're making the money from the business side of the event, but no one's actually watching the tennis. Like, you go to a British tour or a national level tournament here in the UK, you might get 4 people watching. I understand they don't have the big names, and there's a whole new debate on that about the scoring format and stuff. But the sport itself is dying. It's dying at the grassroots. Never mind the top end. Like, you're not going to have a top end if you don't have the players coming through. So there you go. That's my Friday thoughts. Over the next couple of weeks, there may be some disruption to the channel. Well, my wife is due a baby today. It's a due date today as I'm filming this. So I think over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be knee deep, hopefully, in nappies and sick and all that joyous stuff. So I do have plans to release some older content, but maybe some webinars and some coaching videos of me actually coaching. I've got lots of sort of stuff in the library that I might just put out on a Friday, just so you still have some regular content. Apart from that, check out My Tennis Coach Academy. Use the code May50. Lots of webinars, lots of videos of me coaching, lots of downloads, all that good stuff to elevate your coaching game. And yeah, I think we need to look at tennis coaching and how we market tennis and how we're going to stop the pickleball and paddle revolution. And I think a lot of it starts with, we don't need tennis coaching to play tennis. Just need a ball, some rackets. Until next time, I'll see you in a few weeks. I will try and get some videos on as and when I can. Take care.